Hi, Sarah Mack here from withsarahmack.com, and I want to talk about a very important subject today, which is how to make five-figure months without burning out. And this is important, right? Because we're not about making money at the cost of our health. Never, ever, 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 ever. And I can speak on this topic because having been through a burnout myself, it wasn't fun. And I feel kind of lucky that I actually experienced that before I entered the world of entrepreneurship. So I built my business as I was recovering from my burnout, and that's actually what drove me into entrepreneurship in the first place, so that I could have that freedom around my schedule, so I could prioritize my health. And that's really been the foundation that I built my business on. And I've now realized that vision of having a business that gives me so much freedom and flexibility in my schedule to prioritize my health, my self care, my needs, and now more of my desires now that I've fully recovered my health. And so, really, the gift in the struggle that I went through and in facing really big energy management challenges, and trying to be more productive and reaching for the goals that I wanted to be hitting as I was growing my business as an entrepreneur, really gave me a lot of really powerful tools and skill sets that have continued to expand the freedom that my business gives me. And that was always that always has been and still is a fear of mine, that as I grow my business, it would take away from my freedom. And so it's something that I've always fought really, really hard against. And, having been through the experience of not having my health, I'm just not available for that to happen anymore. So I wanted to share with you, obviously there's many different ways that we can hit our income goals. And the first time I started hitting five-figure months, I actually had two businesses on the go. So I was still taking on some copywriting clients from Juicy Copy, which is my first business. And I was bringing in income from my coaching business. So my first five-figure month was actually a 20K month. And I brought most of that in through my coaching business, but I still brought in a chunk of that through copywriting as well. And copywriting was something that took a lot more of my energy. And I knew I wanted to, bring my energy back from that and translate that to my own writing project and to my own business, and to just free up that time and that energy in my schedule, which now I have done. And so after I started hitting 5K months, five-figure months, so it was like 10 and 20K months, I immediately started phasing out the copywriting aspect of my income. And the key piece that allowed me to start, now I generate five-figure months with so much less time booked in on my schedule, so much more freedom. And the way that I have been able to do that, and the way that I started to hit those big income goals in the first place, was really doing the deep energetic and emotional healing work at the same time. Which now I'm, understanding is really creating space in my nervous system to hold more in business. And there's a distinction between doing more, and that's not what I'm talking about. It wasn't allowing myself to do more. I was actually pretty good at doing a lot of things. What I needed to get better at was actually expanding my belief that I could have what I want in the way that I wanted it. I'm really bringing my nervous system on board with that to move through the resistance for it to actually be easier, and for me to actually give myself permission for it to be more simple and more aligned with the things that were really, really fun for me. So, I continued to tweak and move more and more to what I was most excited to be offering at the prices I was most excited to be charging. And the most important part of that was doing the inner work to believe, number one, that it was possible for me, and number two, that I was capable of creating and holding it. Again, not from a place of busyness, but actually from a place of capacity to execute consistently with skill. And what that means is not giving my energy away to things that were not a desire or a priority for me. This is really the skill of how to not to burn out, and how to move more quickly towards the life and the business that is really making us happy and nourishing us and fulfilling. So that's really why I focus a lot on energy management, self-care, boundaries, and money mindset, and really getting into not only the mental belief and the stories that I'm telling myself on a day-to-day basis, and that I do in doing this work with my clients, but also from a nervous system perspective, because all the reactions and the resistance that comes from a lack of belief, and it comes from protective mechanisms that actually feel sometimes more comfortable being in the busyness and being in the push and the hard work and the struggle. So that's really the reconditioning process, that the mindset work, that having the boundaries, that being very vigilant around the self-care practices and the energy management practices allows us to actually much more easily create much more income in much more fun and less time intensive ways. So and this is really the work that I do with my clients, because we're just guiding our nervous systems to accept that more ease and fun and freedom is possible, and it can become our new normal. And also to be very focused in taking action from that place versus from the busy, from the overworking, or from the chaotic approach to making money or not making quite enough money, or making money in ways that require more of an energy investment than they feel happy giving. So this is about 5-figure months in fun and simple but powerful and aligned and feel good ways. So if that is your goal, I have opened up spaces, and I have $1,000 off all of my one-on-one private mentorship programs at the moment, which is 3-month, 6-month, or a 90-minute intensive, followed by 7 days of Voxer coaching. So the goal is to birth the business that gives you so much freedom, you almost don't know what to do with it, apart from you totally will, because when you work with me, you'll be super connected to what it is that you actually desire, because that's going to be the stuff that creates the least energetic resistance once we get aligned with actually giving ourselves permission to move forward with that. And we'll focus on creating the kind of clarity in your message that magnetizes dream clients into your inbox who are already ready to buy, because your copy is doing that work for you. So you don't need to have energy draining sales calls. You don't need to have lengthy like Q&As in the DMs with people. It will literally be a case of like, I'm not sure which of your offers to buy. This is where I'm at. Cool. Which payment option do you want? Here's the link. Like a few basic questions about the offer answered. That's pretty much my sales process. And I'm really not having conversations with anybody who isn't an absolute dream, already ideal client, because the way that I express myself in my copy and in my content strategically wheedles out anybody but the people who are a perfect fit for me. So that's what we'll be focusing on in my private mentorship together, and on also really building the habits that make business fun and straightforward and easeful to create 5-figure months on repeat, selling whatever it is that excites you the most. So you can really take that skill set, you can evolve, you can grow, you can apply it to whatever, passionate project offers and exciting things that you want to be creating. But we'll really streamline it so that your business isn't taking over your life. You're not spending hours and hours and hours doing tons and tons of work, but really focusing on what will make you the money, what will connect you with the people who are ready to buy that offer immediately, and then to build that out so it creates a consistent income for you. So if this is speaking to you, send me a message to apply. There's $1,000 off all of my containers until Friday, and I'm excited to work with you if this is the journey that you're ready to step into. Have an amazing day. Thanks for watching. Bye.